Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn English Podcast. I'm Jack, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Emily. It's great to be back, everyone. We've got an incredible episode lined up for you today.
Absolutely. Today we're diving deep into something that so many of our listeners have been asking about, how to prepare for the IELTS exam. Whether you're planning to study abroad, immigrate to an English-speaking country, or advance your career, this episode is going to be packed with practical tips and strategies.
That's right. And before we jump in, if you're new here or if you've been enjoying our content, please hit that subscribe button. We release new episodes every week, covering everything from grammar tips to pronunciation guides, vocabulary building, and exam preparation, just like today's topic.
And stick around until the end because we want to hear from you. We'll be asking what topics you'd like us to cover in our next episodes. Your feedback really shapes our content, so don't miss that. All right, let's get started. So, first things first, what exactly is IELTS?
Great question. IELTS stands for the International English Language Testing System. It's one of the world's most popular English proficiency tests, recognized by over 11,000 organizations worldwide, including universities, employers, immigration authorities, and professional bodies.
There are actually two types of IELTS tests. The academic test is designed for those applying for higher education or professional registration. The general training test is for those migrating to English-speaking countries or applying for secondary education, training programs, and work experience.
The test assesses 4 key skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You'll receive a band score from 1 to 9 for each section and an overall band score. Most universities require a score of 6.5 or 7, but requirements vary by institution and program.
Now, let's talk about preparation strategy. The key to success in IELTS is structured, consistent preparation. You can't cram for this test like you might for a history exam. Language proficiency develops over time.
Exactly. I always recommend starting your preparation at least 2 to 3 months before your test date. If your English level is currently intermediate, you might need even more time, perhaps 4 to 6 months.
Let's break down each section, starting with listening. The listening test is 30 minutes long with an additional 10 minutes to transfer your answers. You'll hear 4 recordings of native English speakers and answer 40 questions.
One crucial tip for the listening section: read the questions before each recording starts. You'll have time to do this. Understanding what information you need to listen for is half the battle.
Practice with different accents, too. The IELTS listening section features British, Australian, American, and sometimes other accents. Don't just practice with one accent. Watch news from different English-speaking countries. Listen to podcasts from various regions.
Another golden tip: practice spelling. Many students lose marks not because they didn't hear the answer, but because they misspelled it. If the answer is a proper noun or a technical term, it must be spelled correctly.
Pay attention to word limits as well. If a question says, write no more than 2 words, and you write 3 words, you'll lose the mark even if the information is correct.
Now, let's move on to the reading section. This is where time management becomes absolutely critical. You have 60 minutes to read 3 passages and answer 40 questions. No extra time for transferring answers like in the listening section.
For academic IELTS, the texts are taken from books, journals, magazines, and newspapers written for a non-specialist audience. For general training, you'll see texts from notices, advertisements, company handbooks, official documents, books, and magazines.
Here's a strategy that works really well. Don't read the entire passage first. Start by skimming the passage quickly to get the general idea, then go straight to the questions. Read each question carefully, underline keywords, and then scan the passage for those specific keywords or their synonyms.
Synonyms are so important in reading. IELTS loves to test whether you can recognize when different words mean the same thing. For example, the passage might say beneficial, while the question uses helpful.
Time yourself strictly during practice. Spend no more than 20 minutes per passage. If you're stuck on a question, make your best guess and move on. You can always come back if there's time at the end.
Practice different question types too. There are about 10 different question formats in IELTS reading: multiple choice, true, false, or not given, matching headings, matching features, sentence completion, summary completion, and more.
Oh, the infamous true, false, not given questions. These trip up so many test takers. Remember, not given means the information isn't mentioned in the passage at all. Don't use your own knowledge. Only use what's written in the text.
Great point. Now, let's talk about the writing section, which many students find the most challenging. You have 60 minutes to complete 2 tasks.
Task 1 is different for academic and general training. In academic, you describe visual information like graphs, charts, tables, or diagrams in at least 150 words. In general training, you write a letter, which could be formal, semi-formal, or informal.
Task 2 is the same for both tests. You write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or problem. This needs to be at least 250 words, and it's worth twice as many marks as Task 1, so allocate your time accordingly.
I recommend spending 20 minutes on Task 1 and 40 minutes on Task 2. Use the first few minutes of each task to plan your response. Don't just start writing immediately.
For Task 1 academic, learn the language for describing trends. Words like increased dramatically, declined gradually, fluctuated, remained stable, peaked at, reached a low of, these are essential.
For Task 2 essays, structure is everything. You need a clear introduction that paraphrases the question and states your position, body paragraphs with topic sentences and supporting examples, and a conclusion that summarizes your main points.
Don't memorize essays or use templates you find online. Examiners can spot these immediately, and you'll be penalized. Instead, learn flexible structures and practice applying them to different topics.
Practice writing by hand if you're taking the paper-based test. Many students are so used to typing that their handwriting becomes illegible when they write quickly. Your examiner needs to be able to read your response.
Expand your vocabulary, but use it naturally. Don't force sophisticated words where simpler ones work better. It's better to use common words correctly than to misuse advanced vocabulary.
Now, the speaking test. This is 11 to 14 minutes long and consists of 3 parts. It's usually scheduled on a different day from the other 3 sections, though sometimes it's on the same day.
Part 1 is the introduction and interview. The examiner will ask you general questions about yourself, your home, family, work, studies, interests, and other familiar topics. This lasts 4 to 5 minutes.
In Part 2, you'll receive a task card with a topic. You'll have 1 minute to prepare and make notes, then speak for 1 to 2 minutes on that topic. The examiner might ask 1 or 2 follow-up questions afterward.
Part 3 is a two-way discussion where you and the examiner discuss more abstract ideas and issues related to the Part 2 topic. This is where you can really demonstrate your ability to express and justify opinions, analyze, and speculate.
Here's something important. The speaking test is recorded, but don't let that make you nervous. Just focus on communicating with the examiner. Make eye contact, smile, and treat it like a conversation rather than an interrogation.
Speak clearly and at a natural pace. Some students speak too fast because they're nervous or want to show they know a lot of English. But if the examiner can't understand you because you're rushing, that won't help your score. Don't give one-word answers, especially in Part 1. If the examiner asks, "Do you like reading?" don't just say, "Yes." Expand your answer. "Yes, I do. I particularly enjoy reading mystery novels before bed because they help me relax after a long day."
Practice with a timer for Part 2. Many students run out of things to say after 30 seconds because they haven't practiced speaking for the full 2 minutes. Learn to extend your answers by giving examples, explanations, and personal anecdotes.
Use a variety of grammatical structures. Don't just stick to simple present tense. Mix in past tense when talking about experiences, present perfect for recent events, future forms for plans, and conditional structures when speculating.
If you make a mistake, self-correct. If you realize you used the wrong tense or word, it's perfectly fine to correct yourself. This actually shows language awareness, which examiners value.
Now let's talk about some general preparation strategies that apply across all sections. First, familiarize yourself with the test format. Download practice tests from the official IELTS website or use Cambridge IELTS practice books.
Take full-length practice tests under exam conditions. Time yourself strictly, complete all sections without breaks, and create a quiet environment similar to the test center. This builds stamina and helps you manage test day stress.
Keep a vocabulary journal organized by topics common in IELTS: education, environment, technology, health, work, travel, and so on. Learn words in context with example sentences, not just definitions.
Read widely in English. Newspapers like The Guardian, The New York Times, magazines like National Geographic, The Economist. These are the types of sources IELTS reading passages come from. Get comfortable with academic and formal English.
Watch English content with subtitles initially if needed, then without. TED Talks are fantastic for this. They're usually 15 to 20 minutes long, cover diverse topics, and speakers use clear, standard English.
Find a study partner or join an IELTS preparation group. Practicing speaking with someone else is invaluable. You can also review each other's writing and share resources.
Consider taking an official IELTS preparation course if possible. While self-study works for many people, a good course provides structured learning, expert feedback, and regular practice opportunities.
Use authentic materials. While IELTS prep books are useful, also engage with real English content, podcasts, documentaries, articles, academic lectures. This improves your overall English proficiency, which is what IELTS tests.
Let's talk about common mistakes to avoid. First, don't leave any answers blank. There's no negative marking, so always guess if you're unsure. In multiple choice, you have a chance of guessing correctly.
Don't exceed word limits in writing or reading. If an answer requires no more than 3 words and you write 4, it's automatically wrong. Stick to the instructions precisely.
Don't use informal language in academic writing or overly complex language in general training letters to friends. Match your register to the task requirements.
Avoid memorized answers in speaking. Examiners are trained to recognize this, and if they suspect you're reciting a prepared answer, they'll interrupt and ask different questions, which can throw you off.
Don't ignore the assessment criteria. For writing, you're marked on task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. Understand what each criteria means.
In speaking, the criteria are fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. You need to balance all 4. Being fluent isn't enough if your grammar is full of errors.
As test day approaches, here's what you should do. The week before, review your notes and do light practice, but don't overload yourself. You want to arrive at the test fresh, not exhausted.
The night before, get a good sleep. Prepare everything you need: your identification documents, test confirmation, pencils, erasers, and a water bottle. Know exactly where the test center is and how you'll get there.
On test day, eat a good breakfast. Arrive early to avoid stress. During the test, read all instructions carefully. Time management is crucial, so keep an eye on the clock.
If you find yourself getting anxious during the test, take a deep breath. Focus on the question in front of you rather than worrying about how you did on previous questions.
After the test, don't dwell on it. You've done your best. Results are usually available online 13 days after your test date. You'll receive a test report form showing your scores for each section and your overall band score.
If you don't get the score you need, don't be discouraged. You can retake IELTS as many times as you want. Use your first attempt as a learning experience. Analyze where you lost marks and focus your preparation on those areas.
Remember, improving your English is a journey. IELTS is just one milestone. Everything you learn while preparing for this test will benefit you in your academic, professional, and personal life.
Before we wrap up, here are some excellent resources. The official IELTS website has free practice materials. Cambridge IELTS books 10 through 18 contain authentic past papers. British Council and IDP also offer free resources and online courses.
For listening practice, try the BBC Learning English website, the 6-Minute English podcast, and TED.ed. For reading, The Guardian, BBC News, and Scientific American have excellent articles at the right level.
For writing feedback, websites like IELTS Liz and IELTS Advantage offer sample essays and tips. For speaking, record yourself answering practice questions and listen back critically.
There are also apps like IELTS Word Power for vocabulary, IELTS Prep by British Council, and IELTS Skills for comprehensive practice on the go.
Wow, we've covered so much today, from test format to specific strategies for each section, time management, common mistakes, and resources. I hope this gives you a clear roadmap for your IELTS preparation.
Absolutely. Remember, consistent, focused practice is the key. Don't try to do everything at once. Set realistic goals, track your progress, and celebrate small improvements.
And don't forget, English is a tool for communication. While you're preparing for IELTS, try to enjoy using English. Watch movies, read books you're interested in, chat with English speakers online. Make it fun, not just test prep.
That's such an important point. When you engage with English in ways you genuinely enjoy, learning becomes natural and sustainable.
Now, before we go, we'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe to Learn English Podcast if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
And here's the big question. What would you like us to talk about in our next episode? Are you interested in business English for professional settings? Pronunciation tips for specific sounds? Idioms and phrasal verbs? Grammar deep dives?
Maybe you'd like us to cover other English proficiency tests like TOEFL or Cambridge exams, or perhaps you want interview preparation tips or how to write effective emails in English.
Leave a comment telling us what topics interest you most. Your suggestions directly influence our upcoming content, and we love creating episodes that address your specific needs and questions.
You can also share your IELTS preparation journey with us. What challenges are you facing? What strategies have worked well for you? Our community learns from each other, so your experiences could help fellow learners.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We know you have many options for learning English, and we're honored that you chose Learn English Podcast.
Keep practicing, stay motivated, and believe in yourself. You've got this. Every hour you invest in improving your English brings you closer to your goals.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pursuing your dreams. Good luck with your IELTS preparation.
Bye, everyone. Remember to subscribe and let us know what you want to learn next.